G'day, this is Captain Australia, and I am laying on my fat bum doing absolutely nothing, and it feels glorious. So yeah, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, and sorry, that's a little bit better so I can kind of see if any comments come in. Yeah, so I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. It was still dark, and I had to pack up my camp and head to Stanwell Tops for that interview with the ABC. If you have arrived after seeing one of those interviews, let me give it. Andrew says, hiya Cap. Cap says, hiya Andrew. Let me give you a quick rundown of what it's all about. So, my name's Simon. I survived the stage 4 cancer, couldn't thrive, couldn't bounce back, and I decided I needed to take a pilgrimage, a big walk, and then I realised I could superhero up for science and do it for charity as well. So, that's what became Captain Australia's Big Walk, and it's in the service of a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. So the sticky post should always have a link to a donation page for the charity, and a bit more info, some links to media and all that sort of stuff. Drew says, where are you, Cap? Got a drink for you. Oh, that's very kind of you. Jeez. I've said these overwhelming waves of kindness from people. It's so lovely. I am at a place called Clifton. Let me show you around. I don't want to get up off my big fat lazy bum. So there's a park over there. So it's a bit glary. So there's a school, Clifton School of Art, some actual cliffs, and that's where we are. So I'm laying down on the side of the road like a common hobo, and this is my pack, and I'm resting on it. Now, if you're curious about my pack, it is bloody heavy. I got a hammock, I got some wet weather gear. This thing here is a solar array. So if you want to see that, look at that. That's that bad boy. And how clever am I that I can open things up and whatever using the mirror of the screeny thing on me bobbly. These are Kids Cancer Project socks that I don't have the heart to throw out, but I'm not going to wear. So I've just got them strapped to my pack on the off chance that I find a kid who needs a pair of socks. That's how I think. That's my logic, and that's what I'm going to stick with. So I'm on my way to Wollongong, and by the way, for anybody who's interested, tonight I'll be on the show The Project. So it's a day for the media today. Um, they've contacted me about doing a live cross with the panelists, which will be interesting and exciting. Have a chance to tell the story again and talk about what I'm doing and why. But yes, I've been, I think, since Sydney, struggling a little bit with the walking. Not too, I still lean into it, and the ordeal of it still makes me strong. But I think it's all of these hills everywhere, hills, 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 and more hills for the last several days, and it's just with the heavy pack that I got here, and my age and all of that, the inclines do sap the endurance out of me a bit. So yeah, nice to have a little rest, stretch out the legs, and I am really just in a bit of a rest overtime now. I should be up and walking, but yeah, I got to meet the cameraman from the project in about 4 hours from now. How's your flag? Need assistance, says David. Yeah, look, the flag is a bit tattered and torn, but still mostly sound. You can kind of read it, and you can. There's some repair that I can do to keep it going a bit longer, but I might switch it out for the backup one. I'll get my wife to send it down. Drew says, I'll see you soon, mate. Okay. Oh, lovely. Looks like I've got some Uber Eats coming, but with a nice drink. That's very kind of you, Drew. Thank you. Well, I suppose I shouldn't use that as an excuse to not get up and start walking, make it easier for Drew to spot me. Yeah, so what's to discuss? I don't know. If you're newly arrived and you haven't been following it since the start, I think one of the main things in all of this, me doing these streams and sharing in the walk, is, I mean, aside from sharing the wonderful kindness and humanity of people out there, whereabouts are you now, Cap? A place called Clifton on the way to Wollongong, right? Aside from the wonderful people, the beautiful humanity out there, and the places that I've seen and how gorgeous they are. It's about my own transformation, you know. So a year ago, I was just a ghost. I was just waiting to die. And if you've been watching for a while, I mean, people comment on it. You can see it. I'm coming alive in a way that I just didn't expect to at all. The toil has unlocked that in part, but so has the ocean. And, you know, just being able to let go of things like grief and having a lot of time alone to reflect on that. Sonia asks, hello, Captain, how are you? Captain says, I'm doing good, Sonia. Lovely to see your name there. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm just a little bit physically flogged. So last night I stopped walking at about 10 o'clock, pitched a hasty camp because it was raining, and pardon me, I got up at 5 a.m. Because I needed to make it to Stanwell Tops in time for the ABC interview. I think that's very important. Any media is massively important for the charity. And yeah, donations have sure taken a jump up. So if you're a new person who's arrived and you've made a donation to the Kids Cancer Project, thank you so much. It's marvelous. Sonia asks, you are definitely so far away from being a ghost these days. Seeing your journey is truly wonderful. Well, thank you, Sonia. And I do. I feel it. I feel parts of me, I don't know what the right word is, not galvanizing exactly, um, like 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 broken old machinery inside of me, but it's and I thought it would never work again, but it's cranking up. You know what I mean? And it might be rusty and it might be old, but it's cranking up, and suddenly lights are popping on where there was only darkness before, and you've just got these elements of my humanity, like hope and and compassion, and all of these fine things just lighting up and coming alive. And I think after the walk, I get to take them back into my daily life, you know? Because I thought I was just a ghost, but now I do genuinely believe that the best of my days might still lie ahead somewhere in the rest of my days. I think the finest days in my life are like when I married, when my children were born, and all of the rest. But the idea, the suspense, the possibility that somewhere in the future is this perfect day where all of the people you love are with you and you're joyfully sharing with them all day. I don't know what the perfect day looks like, but believing that it could be ahead of you instead of is definitely behind you, that's what hope looks like. And yeah, I have hope again. Sorry, more comments. Amy says, pardon me, from my chemo radiation, if I don't sip water regularly, I get a little dry cough. So don't be concerned that I have COVID or anything like that. I'm not feverish. I don't have any other symptoms except when I talk too much and do not drink enough, I get a dry cough. So here's the old canteen. Chug that down. Sorry if that was gross. And then I'm all good. Loved your ABC interview this morning, says Amy. Donated because of that. Your late finish, early start was worth it. Happy walking. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much, Amy. So the cause that you've donated to, it really is a fabulously important one. So there's this little guy, Archer. Yo, 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 Archer! Currently in Westmead Hospital, and he's having a bone marrow transplant to help overcome his bone cancer, I think it is. And for me, he's one of the faces that, see, I don't think about in terms of, oh, let's raise, 100,000, 200,000, $1 million and all the rest. I think of it in terms of, could we save just one little child's life? And for me, that is immensely more powerful, So I think of kids who are currently facing up to cancer and unborn children in the future who would face it, and there's 950 Aussie kids every year. But if we could bring that down to 949, then there's one kid this year, but there's one kid every year going forward. Sonia says, rebirthing after the cancer, full system reset. That's what it is, my friend. It's your post-cancer body. Wait till I get down to Melbourne. I'll show you some rock hard abs, yo. Yeah, Captain Australia underwear model. Everybody loves to see his abs, yo. Oh, see that? That was like a rap. I was a supermodel ab-having old man rap. Robert Mack. Sorry if bit of weird question, Captain. There's no such. Don't apologise for asking a question. There's no bad questions too. If it's weird, so what? We tend to sort of worry about, you know, uh, asking something controversial, but I think we all need to be more tolerant of each other. You can ask me any damn thing you want, any damn time you want, and I'll do my best to answer. Sorry if a bit of a weird question, Captain Australia, but can I ask, with all this walking you do every day, how do you go with, oh, and it's dot, 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 see more? Let me anticipate the question. How do you go with doing a poo? He said it's a weird question. How do you go with, I'm going to guess it's relating to the toilet, but let's see. See more. How do you go with chafing? Ah, terrible guess, Captain Australia. Yeah, I'm pretty good, actually, because I'm constantly losing weight. If anything, my body's becoming more and more resistant to chafing, and I've got the right types of undies, right types of socks, so I'm pretty well set up. There's some rips in one of my uniforms, and this lovely lady sewed them up, but the sewing repair actually rubbed against my skin. So after 6 hours walking, it starts cutting like a knife. So chafing can be a problem depending on the garment I'm wearing. But for the most part, I'm now really resistant to blisters, resistant to chafing. I've toughened up quite intensely, I think. Audrey Pearson, thank you for your efforts. From the mama of one of our angels who's... Ah, Audrey, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, I don't think I would have the tools to or the strength that you do to move forward after that. And I am sure your child is still somewhere, and loves you and is a presence, you know. I'm so sorry. Jeez. Yeah, pediatric, and that's the idea of preventing that from happening is why I'm marching, Big bullhead that I am, but I'm so sorry for your loss. Sonia Jackson, you are also helping them to be heard. We can fight harder when we know they fight exists. Well, yeah, I mean, it's all about. Here's the thing: we as a species, I've said this before about kindness, right? I think kindness is the most fundamental and important thing that we as a species need for our continuing survival. Cooperation, acceptance, and kindness. So we've gone down this path of exploitation, you know, take advantage, gouge, move forward, be the biggest, fattest, fastest, eat, fuck, kill. Sorry, I swore and I didn't mean to. Jesus, Simon. Do all of these aggressive capitalist type activities to win, to have the biggest car, the fastest car, the biggest house, the most beautiful partner, the best abs, all that sort of stuff. And the thing is, kindness, it has this like beautiful ripple effect that lifts everybody up. The competitiveness, the wanting to be best is always at someone else's expense. And I think as a species, kindness is how we get to the point of cooperation, which is how we get to the point of solving some of our more severe problems, like, climate, and, imminent warfare, nationalism, and all of that sort of stuff. If we can figure out a way to lift each other up, the world gets better. Sorry, old man ramble. Everyone has a body, and they all do weird things. We gotta be okay. Okay, yeah. Oh no, I hope that the the stitching's popped out anyway. So in one of my uniforms, I just have a big hole above the bum, so you can see my old man butt cheek poking out. Natalie says, "Hey mate." Mate says, "Hey Natalie." Billy D, more comments, more comments. 100% agreed. Kindness, we need it to move forward. We need community that cares for everyone who makes up that community see more. Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that it's the antidote to suffering. And we inflict so much suffering on ourselves and our communities. And it really is just based around that mindset of taking, that mindset that difference is not to be celebrated. It's to be feared. It's like that dickhead, sorry, I swore again, in the news at the moment. Like these in my mind, unconscionable scumbags who assert that, if a kid wants try and figure out their sexuality. They might be gay or whatever. It's sinful, you know? And all that's in the media, and we argue and make noise about it. But if we can get to a place where we can just have dialogue, recognize what's absolutely not on, and agree that we all just want to be kind to each other, we can start to celebrate differences, move forward, and not get into these hostile, ugly arguments. And I shouldn't have called him a DH. Why can't we all be our best together? We need to find the ways to hear all the voices. Difference should be acknowledged and appreciated. Well, I agree with you, Sonia. I think that that ultimately, the more separate we are, the weaker we are. The more dangerous we become to each other. You want what I have. I want what you have. And then as we grow teams around us, we get to the point where we'll even consider killing to take it, you know? But I think the world has abundant resources. The problem is they're in the hands of 1%, you know? So we've got global poverty, starvation, and all of this garbage, exploitation of the world, climate, all that sort of garbage, and the power really rests in the hands of an illustrious few who are no doubt hidden from our sight. So it's not scumbags like prime ministers and all of that who are making the big decisions. It's these uh, entrenched, moneyed entities, people, organisations that kind of steer and manipulate them. Anyway, old man ramble. Jesus, I've been walking all morning and I'm a bit. David Duff says, "What time do you think will be camp set up tonight?" I want to do it in the daytime, that's for sure. I had a bit of trouble, pardon, pardon me. I've got this brand new tarp, and it's great and it's big and it resisted the storm last night really well. But it's got all these new weird fangled little bits that I want to. Doing it in the dark was a pain. So I want to set up a daytime. I could pretty easily make it to Wollongong tonight, but I think I'll just camp somewhere rough outside Wollongong, and I'll set up somewhere around 7:30. So much exploitation systems in the background. I agree with you, Sonia. Jake and Claire, g'day, welcome to the It's Captain Australia show. Boom boom. Whereabouts are you, Captain? Asks Jake. So I'm at a little town just off the ocean called Clifton, which is a very, very apt name, actually, because I don't know if you can see in the background up there, there's bloody cliffs everywhere, and they're gorgeous. The ocean here is it feels wilder for me, and because it's all cliff sides and everything, it ends in rocks, so the ocean is just majestically crashing against those rocks. Love it. Absolutely adore it. It's gorgeous. And I think the ocean has been uh, my companion, my therapist for a lot of this walk, and I really appreciate it. Yeah. Sonia says the background is beautiful. Okay. Oh yeah, I should be mindful of that, and you know, I should have gone down to the rocky beach down there. Oh dear, I can feel a massive fart coming along. There's no need to declare that. You know, we can just prevent it, hold on to it, or quietly release it. You know, but in the spirit of honesty, I can feel a massive fart coming on. So this morning after the ABC, I had a big breakfast, chicken burger and some chips. It was very good. So I'm well fed. I'm resting, well rested, and I'm strong. Just an old fool, but I'm making myself strong. And I think that for people who feel crippled in their own life, you can do that too. You don't have to go on some crazy big walk. You don't have to dress up as a superhero. For me, the only thing that you really need is hope. And then you figure out what the solution is that fits you. Hope allows you to just keep trying. And if you fail, you try something else. And if you fail, you try something else. And then you learn and you try something else. And then you succeed. And eventually you succeed. But it's hope that allows you to keep leaning into the cure, not the disease. Sonia says, I wish that the ocean was closer than where I am. We appreciate the honesty. Do you? Let it free. Well, now that you've done that, I no longer need to fart. You know, it's like that. You know, there was a study. I remember reading about this in, I don't know, it was before the new millennium. Oh, the sun's out. I'm starting to feel it on my skin. I'm getting too much sun these days. Painting and drawing is my hope. Lovely, Sonia. No, I like your art. But yeah, this is an interesting study that they did. It was around, the human shyness around, eliminatory processes. So when you do a little poo or a wee, how you know how able are you to do that if you don't have privacy and whatnot? And it was quite fascinating. Like some of the test subjects were, and it's just one of these psychology things, but they were unable, even when they knew that they had privacy, they were unable to pee their pants, for example. And others were completely unable, even though that there was an intense need to use the toilet to go number two when they were being observed, which is pretty understandable. I get that. I understand why that would be. But at the end of the day, I don't know that animals have the same issues. I know that they instinctively they'll go to one corner of their cave or whatever. Where are you? Looks beautiful, Joanne. It's a place called Clifton. Sorry, I'm well and truly in an old man ramble. Who knows what the hell I'm talking about? Yeah. So just over there, they've got these lovely pine trees, and you might be able to see a little hint of the ocean beyond that. Yeah. So it's gorgeous country, and yeah, I'm gonna continue walking in just a little bit. We are an incredibly bizarre and weird species. Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, what Jerry Seinfeld had this comedy bit about why we follow around picking up the poop of our dogs. Any alien species watching us from space would think that the dogs are the overlord. So we do have our weird habits and stuff. Margaret says, "Hubby always let it free, especially in elevators." Yeah, well, be loud and proud. I respect that. K. Scott Huntley. Uh-oh, that sounds like Dr. Canada to me. Austin Mayor is my favourite. Okay. Sonia says, with or without sound. David Duff. Did you walk along the big cliffside ride? Would have been an awesome view. I've got some photos. Yeah, the bridge. Yeah, I'm not sure what the bridge is called, but I did. I did walk along it, and it is gorgeous. I took some photos and stuff, and I will upload all of them later on. Yeah, but the country here and just the way the ocean smashes into the cliffs, it's just lovely. Yeah, David, it's gorgeous, mate, and I will share those photos later on. So I guess given that I got to do this project interview, I might try and get a few more k's closer to Wollongong. I think I'm about 20k out. Sea Cliff Bridge, it's called. Okay, yep, I definitely did. I did walk along that one. And from Clifton, I'm expecting there's more of the same, like just beautiful scenery and little towns on the edge of some cliffside beaches. Um, Polly Bailey is watching. Hello, Polly Bailey. Hello, Margaret. So yeah, it's Captain Australia's Big Walk. It's for a charity called the Kids Cancer Project, and it's ultimately an old man trying to heal and fix himself after a fight with stage 4 cancer. And in doing that, share it with you to show you concretely that a broken life can be fixed, and dressing up as a bullfed superhero so that people will look at it, look at the charity, and hopefully support them with donations. Dr. Canada says, not too far from Austin, their beautiful beach there. Okay, cool. Now, I'm meeting you, aren't I? K. Scott Huntley, if that's your real name. I'm meeting you, right? I don't we have a thing where I gotta walk a mile with you or something? Ha, walk a mile. Walk 30 miles, mate. Anyway, all right, I will be mindful of that. If I understand right, you're in Wollongong, and when I get there, I'll reach out to you, buddy, and we'll make that happen. Cool. All right then. I might get my act together and keep walking, I think. So thank you very much for anybody who's been interested to come and check this out. I appreciate it. I do daily live streams, probably on average 3 a day, and they're usually just like this. Me doing a riggedy ramble. And I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do or say. somewhere between Wollongong and Shell Harbour. Okay, no worries. Have a wonderful stroll. I'll see you soon at Bully, says Drew. Okay, I don't know where any of these places are until I get there, and I don't like to plan more than a day out, but I'm sure I'll pass through all these places soon. I think Wollongong, I could get there tonight, but I'm going to camp before there, I think. So, Dr. Canada, if you're in Wollongong, expect me tomorrow morning, mate. I'll hunt you down. All right, everybody, all the best. Thank you so much for your time and interest. If you're watching the project tonight, they'll be across, and I will once more talk about the mission, how things are going, and all of that. But if you like the show and the panelists, and you want to see what kind of questions they might have for me, you should check it out. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and all the very best. This is Kiggity Kiggity Captain Australia signing out. Take care of yourself.